so anybody could enter the building at any time, and we did lockdowns, and the doors didn't lock. So we would do the lockdown drills, and everybody would hide, and we knew that if anybody was coming in, all they had to do was open the door. We have made such progress here at the high school, and I thank you for providing us the security, the additional cameras. I have a principal certification, so I spent 3 years working with our principals on disciplinary issues. I can tell you, I feel very safe in the school. I've taught in inner city schools. I didn't feel safe there. I wanted to add one additional aspect I want you to please consider. I've been teaching for over 20 years. Student anxiety is out of control these days. Kids struggle with grit. They struggle with popularity, social media. I truly believe bringing guns into schools is going to compound that problem versus making things better. Anybody who knows me knows that I would lay down my life for my students. My sister says to me all the time, that's her biggest stress about me being a teacher, is that I could potentially be called upon to do that. I want you to think about our kids and their stress level, because seeing somebody walking through the building with a gun in their hip, I don't believe it would make things better. I feel we are reacting. We've done some great things in the past, but please be careful that we consider the higher anxiety levels that we could cause for our students that would get in the way of their educational advancement. Thank you.
Any other comments? No? Okay.
The item from a discussion standpoint is on the agenda. So we're going to wait till we get to that agenda item to have that discussion since it comes out of committee. So it's only going to take 5 or 6 minutes for us to get there, but I just wanted people to know that since it's a discussion item, not a voting item. So we will get there when it gets to the agenda, so we'll be there quickly and then talk through some of the items. Thank you.
Okay, next up is the President's Report. So what I wanted to talk about, I'm focusing on one thing so I don't take a lot of time because it's a complicated topic. But the Upper Bucks County Technical School Joint Operating Committee unanimously passed the proposed budget for the 2019-2020 school year that ends the gentlemen's agreements that have significantly underfunded the Upper Bucks County Technical School for over a decade, refunds the overpayments that resulted from the second gentleman's agreement 2 years ago, and begins to fully fund the Upper Bucks County Technical School in compliance with the Articles of Agreement. The Joint Operating Committee members, along with the superintendents and business administrators from all 3 sending schools, work together with the administration from the Upper Bucks County Technical School to accomplish these goals. Back in 2006, a gentleman's agreement was put in place that would artificially cap district increases and pool substantial funds from fund balance, creating a structural deficit. The caps were proportional, so sending districts were underfunding it equally. In 2018, a second gentleman's agreement was put into place by the JOC, requiring the district whose payment would decrease to give up that decrease and make the same higher payment it had the year before. This resulted in Penridge disproportionately making an overpayment of $136,442, and Palisades making an overpayment of $24,718. The Penridge School Board voted down the budget. The Upper Bucks County Technical School budget only needs a majority of 2 districts to approve it, but to change the funding formula being used, the majority of all 3 districts would have needed to approve it. This current budget that we have, that was just passed, the proposed budget was passed over at the JOC. This budget refunds those overpayments, so it credits us back the $136,000 overpayment, and also credits back Palisades, and follows the funding formula as written in the Articles of Agreement. It also bases the budget on actual spending as well as fund balance actually utilized last year. So it puts us in a better position to fund our tech schools across the board. And I'd just like to say that, all three districts worked really hard on this, and I appreciate all the hard work of our JOC board members, the business administrators from all three districts, and the superintendents, and the leadership of Dr. Harner, who is the superintendent of record over there. So, thank you. And next up is the superintendent's report.
I'm going to focus on 11 items because Penridge is awesome. I just want to share some good news items over the last month since the last time we've met. First, I want to tell you about our governor's STEM team project. The governor started a new proposal where he had asked STEM teams, he gave them $500 to generate an idea, and that the purpose was to say, how can you improve Pennsylvania through STEM? The only requirement was you couldn't spend more than $500, and the project had to be able to be expanded easily to a larger scale, because some of these projects they hope will actually get funded and will expand to a larger scale by the state if they are. So the Penridge High School team, consisting of Sophia Goodson, Anna Dant, Morgan Leo, Brady Schneider, and Connie Cohen, competed this past Friday at the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. Our team, named the Nerd Squad, and under the direction of Miss Melissa O'Brien, a biology teacher, received the highest presentation score out of all the teams that presented that day, and will be representing Bucks County at the state competition on May 9th and 10th. Dr. Scheid and I were able to see a run-through of their presentation on Thursday afternoon, and it was simply amazing. They designed and produced a functional prosthetic finger that was printed using solely a 3D printer and recycled plastics. We're so proud of the team and the way they represented Penridge. One of the things that the judges commented on was the fact that they had strong partnerships within the community. Mr. Dale Tennant, who owns Tennant Manufacturing in Telford, actually lost a finger recently in one of his machines at his office, and they designed the finger for him. He attended the competition with the students. He also has been giving the students tips and tricks on how to mass produce the prosthetic, since this is part of the rubric for the next step of the STEM competition. The judges were quite impressed because they had never had a partnering community member attend a presentation before. The students did an excellent job working as a team, and they certainly made Penridge proud. So congratulations to the governor's STEM team. Recently spending some time in Divewell Elementary School's brand new Fab Lab. It is a wonderful facility, and I want to thank Principal Casey Plord and teachers Tracy Myers and Amy Weir for making this happen. I also want to thank PPL Corporation and the Penridge Community Education Foundation for providing the funds for the STEM lab. This is a Fab Lab where the teachers can take the students to expand their curriculum. It has places like a maker space. It has places for the students to work on other materials, and we're currently evaluating what that could possibly look like in our other elementary schools as the teachers at Divewell are utilizing that. I want to congratulate students from the Technology Student Association. We have 12 students from the high school who will be competing in 6 different categories at the state conference in April. They earned their spots during Region 5 competition in Quakertown on February 9th, and you can see a complete list of their names on our website. We'll be inviting the students back. When students are going to state competition, we wait till the state competitions are over and then invite the students to come to recognize them in person. But since it just happened, I wanted to mention it so that we can be following along with them. Earlier this month, the high school recognized 52 different students in all 4 grades at the second semester RAMS breakfast. RAMS is an acronym for Recognizing Achievements and Meaningful Successes. They do a breakfast 4 times a year at the end of each marking period. The idea for a RAMS breakfast was created just a year and a half ago when the administrative team was discussing additional ways to recognize students for their successes in schools. Each of the departments at the high school awards 1 student from each grade level for their academic achievements and their embodiment of the Takes Pride themes. Last Friday, our high school debate team completed the regular season at Salisbury High School, going 8-0 and posting 25 perfect scores by 12 different students, which sounds really hard. The team finished the regular season with a 26-6 record, and they're going to be seated 2nd in the Lehigh Valley Interscholastic Debate Association. The Penridge High School debate team has 36 members and is coached by the high school librarian, Miss Lisa Mederick. The team will continue into the postseason, and that'll begin in March. Congratulations to our high school drum line on its first place finish at the North Penn Percussion Competition this past weekend. Congratulations to senior Maddie Rhyme for winning the Pennsylvania Association of Family and Consumer Sciences Incoming Freshman Scholarship. She received the award to recognize her active leadership while maintaining a strong academic record and participating in additional school activities. After reviewing more than a dozen worthy candidates, the Penn Ridge Community Education Foundation has announced its 2019 Friend of Education Award winners. Technology Education Dinner, Alan Andrikaitis, Penn Central Librarian Mary Lou Ashworth, and bus driver and author Marie Hall. They will be honored on Tuesday, April 30th at a lovely evening at the Sellersville Theater. You can reserve your tickets on the PCEF website. Some wonderful alumni news. Miss Alexis Herring, who graduated this past year, class of 2018, was a member, or is a member of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst synchronized figure skating team that recently earned a spot in the U.S. National set for next month. The team qualified for the Eastern Regional event held by competing at the event held in Worcester, Massachusetts at the beginning of February. We wish Alexa best of luck at the upcoming U.S. Nationals. Congratulations to our middle school wrestlers on their first place team finish in the Southeastern Pennsylvania Division I Championship Tournament. Our wrestlers competed against 34 other teams over 2 days and earned the top spot. Ryan Gallagher, who's an 8th grader from Penn North, won the Outstanding Wrestler Award for having the most pins in the least amount of time. Individual medals were also won by, which means the following students also placed in their weight class: Cole Coffin, Ryan Gallagher, Sam Coons, Roberta Pavlik, Robert Pavlik, I apologize, Riley Cullen, congratulations Mom, Xavier Dantzler, Frankie Finelli, Laughlin Smith, Gio Ianisi, and Tyler Wetzel. Our boys basketball team has advanced to the district semifinals for the first time in school history and will take on Abington tomorrow at Temple University. Regardless of the outcome of tomorrow's event and game, the team has clinched a spot in the state tournament. Also, a huge congratulations to senior Sean Yoder, who recently at the last game became the team's and the school's all-time leading scorer. Also, a congratulations to our girls basketball team, who had its best season since 2007 and came one game shy of qualifying for the state tournament. In wrestling, junior Logan Green recently won the District 1 3A East title at 195 pounds with a pin in 46 seconds over Quakertown's Max Russell. It's just fun to say he beat somebody from Quakertown. Indoor track. Sorry, Dr. Martin. Congratulations to the boys relay team of Bobby Brashear, Anderson Diamond, Luke Eisler, and Matt Eisler, and Coach Bob Hosier on winning the gold medal in both the 4x400 and the 4x800 at the State Indoor Track and Field Championship this past weekend. In addition, Anderson Diamond also won second place individually in the 400 meters. In swimming, sophomore Joseph Hong took first place in the 100 breaststroke and second place in the 200 IM at the Suburban One League Continental Conference Championships. In bowling, Zach Valentine and Casey Mannion both earned spots in the regional tournament. I now would like to hand this off to Dr. Schein, who would like to speak about an opportunity she had with Manufacturing Day and a STEM contest. Dr. Schein?
Let me pull this over here. Thank you, Dr. Bolton. I'm very excited to share this news. So back in October, I spent Manufacturing Day with our students, the Upper Bucks Technical School. And while I was there, the operations manager for the Bucks County Development Board asked if the Penn Ridge School District would be interested in entering 8th grade students in a contest called What's So Cool About Manufacturing? And of course I said, I think we'd be happy to do that. So it is sponsored by the Delaware Valley Industrial Resource Center, and the contest requires votes for each team, and the teams with the highest number of votes in specific categories receive a winning prize at a special culminating event. All 3 of our middle schools have a team of 8th grade students participating in the contest. Students volunteered to join the team after seeing a short clip about the program in their 8th grade STEM class. Students created their team names and as part of their classroom studies designed a team logo in the application that they use in their STEM class called CorelDRAW. All teams were given a free GoPro camera along with additional accessories and were assigned local companies to visit. Led by one of our technology integrators, Aaron Reichert, and their STEM teachers, students at South Middle School, Team GEMBA, which is an acronym for their name, traveled to Highline Off-Road, which is part of Daria Metal Fabricators in Percy. Central Middle School, team name Out of the Box Productions, traveled to Secant Group in Quakertown and learned all about biomaterials that facilitate the repair, recovery, and regeneration in the human body. And finally, in early January, North Mission Impossible team from our North Middle School traveled to Penn Engineering to learn about the fastening industry and new product development technologies. Each team has been working closely with educational media producers of PBS. This gentleman's name is Matt Lewis. He is editing and helping to revise their videos in hopes of winning in a variety of categories. We are competing against 27 other teams in the area, so we're asking you to view the videos. They're not finished yet, but view the videos and vote for our Penridge students. The dates for voting are Wednesday, March 20th until Friday, March 22nd. There is going to be an upcoming PDS news article, and it's featured on the Penridge website, and there's details about the voting. And it's a really cool icon. It says what's so cool about manufacturing. And when our students are finished the videos, you'll be able to vote for those. And if you're familiar with American Idol, you can vote and vote and vote as many times as you would like to. So we are encouraging you to do that. And we will be messaging this again and again, but we're really proud of the students. And I actually got to see an almost finished product at South Middle School today. And it's really a lot of work for our students. It's a fantastic opportunity. They were able to go out to these local manufacturing businesses here. But they took a lot of footage. So they have like 15 minutes of footage, and they have to shrink that down to 2 minutes. And it's really a lot of work, and it's very exciting, and we hope that we get the support of everybody in Penridge School District for the contest. So thank you, Dr.
Thank you for working with the team, Dr. Shai. And as equally as exciting as the STEM contest, I have asked Mr. Dahlbert to provide an overview of the budget development and timeline process, just so that we can be aware, since there are certain things coming up. So, Mr. Dahlbert, go ahead.
I apologize. Talking about the budget development for the 2019-2020 budget. Budget development started back in September when the business office developed the budget calendar for the year and submitted that calendar to the board and the finance committee that month. Then in October 22nd, the school board passed a resolution to not increase taxes for the next year above what the Act 1 index, which is 2.3%. So basically, this allowed the board to bypass the requirements for the Act 1 preliminary budget, which would have been due in January, by passing the resolution to not raise taxes above the index. And I say that if needed, okay? I'm not saying there's a tax increase, I'm saying if needed, the board would not be able to raise taxes more than 2.3%. Then in early November, cabinet members, principals, supervisors, and department heads all received budget calendar and budget development instructions and entry guidelines to enter that information into our accounting system. And in November and December, all principals and department heads met with their staff and their buildings to develop their budgets for the 1920 fiscal year. At the December finance meeting, we held a budget kickoff and outlook presentation where we went over some historical data with the board and gave some facts and figures looking forward to the new year. Then on January 7th, the deadline came for all preliminary budgets by all departments to be entered into the accounting system, and at that point in time, the business office takes over, begins their work in the budget process. In January, we also begin to develop the revenue budget for the next fiscal year. We begin this by utilizing a combination of historical collection of data and future projections. We look at the certified assessed value utilized for the county and the township real estate tax bills. We use this to estimate the assessed value for the upcoming school real estate bills. The review and estimation of the revenue numbers will continue from now on through June when we finish the budget process. In February, a list of requested new positions is developed based on academic scheduling needs, curriculum program implementation, assessed student safety and security needs, and student to staff ratio requirement. At the same time, the HR department, Human Resources Department, develops the personnel budget by utilizing the cost for the current staff that are employed by the district for their salary and benefits. At that point in time, we develop a spreadsheet for every budget which is implemented by the department heads and principals, and then we use those spreadsheets to compare 3 years of data, current year budget, and requested budget. At that time, the superintendent, business administrator, and director of finance meet with each cabinet member, principal, supervisor, or department head to review their preliminary budget. These 22 meetings are used to review 33 budgets, and they start the third week of January and run through the second week of February. Last year, during this process, we eliminated $455,000 in expenditures just through this process. Also, in early February, the governor of the state makes his budget address to the legislature. And from that address, we receive estimated revenue data from the state regarding our basic education funding, our special education funding, our transportation funding, and other smaller line items. At the March 12th finance meeting, we will take a first look at the general fund budget. And at the same time, the transportation and operation departments will present their budgets to the board for the next year. The teacher's contract states that as of March 1st, teachers who are thinking about retiring must submit their information to the district with their intent to retire. And this information allows us a great deal of help in determining what the staff needs are, what the cost of the staff are, and so forth. Then at the April 9th finance meeting, we'll have another budget update for the board, and at that point in time, the pupil services and the technology departments will present their budgets for next year to the board. At the May 7th finance meeting, again, we'll look at an update of the general fund budget, and at that point in time, the curriculum and program improvement budgets will also be presented to the board. We'll schedule additional budget meetings throughout the spring if needed. But at the May 13th voting meeting, that is when the first vote on the 1920 budget will occur by the board. Then at the June 11th finance meeting, any additional budget changes will be made at that point in time. And then at the June 7th voting meeting is when the board will vote to pass the final budget for the 1920 school year. So that is a lot of information in a short period of time, but it's kind of the calendar that we go with.
Can the board members vote as many times as they want for the budget, or can they only? All right, never mind.
Only if it's yes.
Thank you. My final item has to do with Rachel's Challenge. Has been up the whole time. Great, thanks. We're really looking forward to the presentations on March 12th and 13th. Just a reminder that all students in grades 6 through 12, all our middle school and high school students will see an age-appropriate presentation. High school students will see something that's called Rachel's Challenge, while our middle school students will see Rachel's Story. Both presentations have an equally important message, but the middle school version excludes some of the 911 calls and some of the television footage that is a little more intense that is included in the high school and evening presentations. And although it is a very serious topic, none of the presentations include blood, dead bodies, or the shooting of weapons. We will be sending more information out to our families in the community this week to make sure they're aware of the differences. We've gotten some questions about the appropriateness of this topic for middle school students, so I wanted to make it clear that there are different levels of presentations that are done. The evening presentation is identical to the high school presentation, so the community presentation would not be a place for small children from that standpoint. On both of the afternoons of the 12th and the 13th, teams of students and staff from each of the 4 secondary schools will receive formal training on how to keep the momentum going that will be realized from the assemblies and continue them in their schools moving forward. These teams will work to determine how best to incorporate the message back at their buildings and in upcoming years. I look forward to seeing their work and updating the community on the impact it will have on our students and community. I would invite each one of you and everyone listening to please plan on attending and invite every one of your friends to the evening presentation on March 13th beginning at 7 p.m. in the Penridge High School auditorium. Mr. Darrell Scott, who is the father of Rachel, will be with us to tell her story and to encourage our community, as in Rachel's words, to start a chain reaction of kindness and compassion. The flyer that you see overhead is available in the table in the back, or you can see me for more afterwards, as well as information is on our website, Facebook, and Twitter. So I would encourage each of you to attend and to tell all your friends about it. We're really excited for the presentation. Thank you.
And I just want to add that it's a really, really powerful presentation. I really hope that all of you will come. You know, there were many kids and parents who approached Darrell after his daughter's death and told them how much of an impact his daughter had on their lives, and just the simple things that she did in her life, how she saved the lives of other people just with these simple things that she did, and how she's continuing to save the lives of other people because she knew that she was going to make a big difference in the world, and so help her change the world with her story. I also wanted to say about the Fab Lab. We got to see kindergarten in the Fab Lab too on their 100th day of school, doing all kinds of 100-day projects, which was really cool too. So, all right. And the student liaison report.
Well, representing on behalf of the students at Penridge and student council, past event we just had was the Winter Ball dance at the Penridge High School. It happened a few weeks ago. We had huge success, and we had lots of attendance from each grade, which is good. And in the future, we will be having a blood drive and spring breakfast as well. Also, to include, we will be having a male talent show, Mr. Penridge. We have that every 2 years. And on student council to solidify our role, not only in the school, but in the community. We'll be having 2 events we will be volunteering at 2 events at the Pearl S. Buckhouse, Tea Party, and also Taste of the World. They will be happening in April and May, so state of Penridge is good.
Hi, I'm Haley. I'm from the Upper Bucks Technical School, and I'm here to tell you some things that's happened over the past month. So in healthcare careers, majority of the seniors passed their certified nurses aid test. In landscaping and construction, there's Create a Terrarium Night on February 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. Space is only limited to 20 families, and it costs $20 per family. Meals to go, Mrs. Ott, who's in charge of the CAP at the tech school, offers complete meals to go. It costs only $7 per single meal, and orders are due by March 15th, and pickup is on Thursday, March 21st.